This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning all. Today we will be discussing about gangrene. So what is gangrene? It is a form of necrosis of tissue with superadded putrefaction. Putrefaction is nothing but infection. Okay. In all types of gangrene, necrosis undergoes liquefaction by the action of putrefactive bacteria. Okay. It can be either caused by ischemic or inflammatory conditions. Okay. Coagulative necrosis occurs due to ischemia. The examples are gangrene of the bowel and gangrene of the limb. Okay. Gangrenous or necrotizing inflammation, primarily inflammation provided by virulent bacteria resulting in massive tissue necrosis, as in cases of gangrenous appendicitis and gangrenous stomatitis. Okay. So coming to types of gangrene, there are mainly two types: dry gangrene and wet gangrene. Gas gangrene is a form of wet gangrene where the gangrene is infected by gas producing bacteria. Okay. We will be discussing these types. So coming to dry gangrene, it begins in the distal part of the limb due to ischemia. Okay, the gangrene spreads slowly upwards until it reaches a point where the blood supply is adequate to keep the tissue viable. Okay, in the dry gangrene, there will be line of separation or line of demarcation, which is formed at a junction between the gangrenous part and the normal part. Okay, so examples include toes and feet of old patient due to arteriosclerosis, thromboangiitis obliterans, or Raynaud's disease, trauma, or ergot poisoning. Okay, so here you can see this is gangrenous foot. Here, this blackish area is all gangrenous part. Here, as you can clearly observe, there is a line of demarcation. Means this is all viable part, okay, which is healthy, which is having adequate blood supply. And this is the gangrenous part, which is lacking the blood supply. Okay. So grossly, as you have noticed it, the affected part is dry, shrunken, and dark black. Here, see here. This is dry, shrunken, as you notice so many wrinkles, okay, and dark black. Okay, it is black due to liberation of hemoglobin from hemolyzed red blood cells, which is acted upon by hydrogen disulfide produced by bacteria, resulting in formation of black iron sulfide. Okay, the line of separation usually brings about complete separation with eventually falling of the gangrenous tissue if not removed surgically. Okay, so histologically, there will be coagulative necrosis with thrombosed blood vessels, and line of separation consists of inflammatory granulation tissue. And remember, dry gangrene is due to the lack of arterial blood supply. Okay, arteries are cut off. Okay, wet gangrene, naturally in moist tissues and organs such as mouth, bowel, lung, cervix, and vulva. Okay, develops rapidly due to the blockage of venous outflow. There will be arterial loss in dry gangrene. In wet gangrene, there will be venous outflow blockage. So when the veins are cut, there will be supply of blood by arteries. So the affected part is stuffed with blood, which favors rapid growth of putrefactive bacteria. Okay, the toxic products formed by bacteria are absorbed, causing profound systemic manifestations of septicemia and finally death. Okay, wet gangrene is more dangerous. Gas gangrene is also dangerous. Okay. So here coming to diabetic foot. High sugar content in the necrosed tissue which favors growth of bacteria. Okay. Bed sores. Bedridden patient due to pressure on sites like sacrum, buttocks and heels. Okay. So here you can see the gangrene, wet gangrene of the bowels. Okay. This is a moist organ and it occurs due to venous outflow obstruction. Okay. Same as dry gangrene, it will also be black. Okay. So affected part is soft, swollen, putrid, rotten and dark. Okay, there will be foul smelling. Okay, foul smell. Okay, The classic example is gangrene of the bowel, commonly due to strangulated hernia, volvulus, or intussusception. Okay, the part is stained due to dark due to the same mechanism as we already discussed in the dry gangrene. Okay, histologically there will be coagulative necrosis with stuffing of the affected part with blood. The dry gangrene is very dry. Okay, there will be arterial obstruction, but wet gangrene is moist. It is stuffed with blood. Okay, due to venous obstruction. Okay, there is ulceration of the mucosa and intense inflammatory infiltration. Lumen of the bowel also contains mucus and blood. Okay, the line of demarcation is very it is not clear as in case of dry gangrene. Okay, here you can see there is necrosis, intense inflammatory infiltrate. Okay, and interstitial hemorrhage. Okay, so coming to differences between dry and wet gangrene. Dry gangrene most commonly in the limbs. Okay, they are distal parts. Okay, end arteries. Okay, and wet gangrene most common in bowel. Okay, mechanisms: arterial occlusion causes dry gangrene, venous obstruction causes wet gangrene. So wet gangrene will be stuffed with blood. Okay, macroscopic grossly the organ will be dry because arteries are cut off, right? Shrunken and black. Here, due to venous obstruction, there will be partly moist, soft, swollen, rotten, and dark. Okay, putrefaction is limited due to very little blood supply. As blood is very much blood is a culture media for bacteria, right? Obstructed blood. So in dry gangrene, putrefaction is limited. In wet gangrene, marked due to stuffing of organ with blood. Okay, there will be clear line of demarcation in the dry gangrene, which is absent in the wet gangrene. Bacteria fail to survive in dry gangrene, but wet gangrene you are going to see numerous bacteria. Okay, generally better prognosis is seen in dry gangrene as there are very little cases of septicemia in dry gangrene, but wet gangrene is very dangerous, generally poor prognosis due to profound toxemia. Okay, coming to gas gangrene, special form of wet gangrene caused by gas forming Clostridia gram-positive anaerobic bacteria. Okay, these gain entry into the tissues through open contaminated wounds, especially in the muscles, or as a complication of operation on colon, which normally contains Clostridia. Okay, it produces various toxins, which produce necrosis and edema, and these toxins are also absorbed into the systemic circulation, causing septicemia. Okay, here you can see tense bullae. Okay, dark rotten tense bullae. This is due to the gas that is formed by the Clostridia. Grossly, the affected area is swollen, edematous, painful, crepitant due to accumulation of gas bubbles within the tissues. Okay. Subsequently, the affected tissue becomes dark black and foul smelling. Okay. Microscopically, the muscle fibers undergo coagulative necrosis with liquefaction. Large number of gram-positive bacilli can be identified. At the periphery, a zone of leukocytic infiltration, edema, and congestion are found. Okay, capillary and venous thrombi are common. See here, the affected area is swollen, edematous, and reddish, and a dark, tense bullae are formed due to the formation of gas by the bacteria. Okay, and very painful, foul smelling, and very dangerous. It may lead to septicemia and finally death. So this is the specimen that is present in the department. Here you can see the gangrenous part and clear line of demarcation. Okay, this is dry gangrene of the foot. Okay, so this is the line of demarcation which is present, and this is the gangrenous part. Okay, so coming to the differences again, you should remember dry gangrene is due to the arterial obstruction. Okay, wet gangrene is due to venous obstruction. Okay, and dry gangrene, the organ will be dry, shrunken and black. Wet gangrene, the organ will be partly moist, soft, swollen and putrid, foul smelling. Okay. Putrefaction is very limited due to very little of blood supply. And wet gangrene, there will be marked putrefaction because the organ is stuffed with blood. Okay. And there will be clear line of demarcation in the dry gangrene, which is lacking in the wet gangrene. Okay. Bacteria are less in dry gangrene. You can isolate bacteria in wet gangrene. Okay. Prognosis is generally better due to little septicemia, and prognosis generally poor due to septicemia. Okay. Gas gangrene is a form of wet gangrene occurring due to gas producing bacteria like Clostridia. Okay. So grossly, you are going to see this is the wet gangrene of the bowel. Okay. Here you can see the organ is swollen. As in case of dry gangrene, the affected organ is dry, shrunken. But here this is moist, swollen because it is stuffed with blood due to venous occlusion. Okay. And there won't be a clear line of demarcation. Okay. See here. This is dry gangrene. The organ is dark black, shrunken, dry, with clear line of demarcation. Okay. Histologically, you are going to see coagulative necrosis, thrombosed blood vessels, and at this site or line of demarcation, you are going to see granulation tissue, inflammatory infiltrate granulation tissue. Okay. But in wet gangrene, histologically, you are going to see coagulative necrosis and various amounts of bacterial colonies you are going to see, and there won't be any line of demarcation. Okay. Ill-defined line of demarcation is present. So, coagulative necrosis, dense inflammatory infiltrate, thrombosed blood vessels. Okay. See, this is gas gangrene. Grossly, the area will be swollen, edematous, painful, and crepitus. You can hear the crepitus. Okay. Because gas is accumulated within the tissues. Okay. Subsequently, the affected tissue becomes dark black and foul smelling. Microscopically, the muscle fibers undergo coagulative necrosis with liquefaction, and large number of gram-positive bacilli can be identified. At the periphery, a zone of leukocytic infiltration, edema, and congestion are found, and capillary venous thrombi are common. Okay. So here you can see the gangrenous part of the foot. This is a amputation specimen, which you can see gangrene of the toes. Okay, involving a little lateral 3 toes. Here you can see grossly the involved part is dry, shrunken, dark black, and with a clear line of demarcation. So this is the specimen of dry gangrene. What are the causes of dry gangrene? It is due to arterial obstruction. Okay. So there may be Burgess arteriitis. Okay. Or arteriosclerosis, and common risk factors are smoking. Okay. Peripheral vascular diseases are some of the causes of gangrene. Okay. And this has better prognosis than cases of wet gangrene, because dry gangrene does not cause septicemia more often. Wet gangrene causes septicemia. Okay. If not treated surgically, if the affected part is not removed surgically, dry gangrenous parts fall off. Okay. Thank you so much.